the season, I have to ask.
Yeah.
Did you ever have like a themed birthday party?
Yeah, I've had a couple actually.
Like when you were a kid or something?
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite themed birthday party?
So I remember one from when I was in kindergarten. It also helps that, you know, my parents took pictures on, like, we would have the disposable cameras. So we have so many, they still have some that need developed. But like there are pictures from that time. And it was like when we lived at the house I grew up in. So we had like the neighbor girl come over, and it was like my longtime friend Melanie and a couple people from my class.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like more so a theme. It was just like we played like pin the tail on the donkey, like had cake and ice cream, played with bubbles or something. So it was like your typical like 5-year-old's kids party.
Classic.
But yeah, when I was younger, I don't remember a whole lot of themed birthday parties, but it was like, I remember more so like the cakes were themed.
Yeah.
Even if the party wasn't. So like one year I had like a Lion King cake. Another year I had a Little Mermaid cake. Those were like the couple that stick out to me. And then like, I remember in middle school, I, collected like monkeys. Like that was like my thing.
Yeah.
So I have like a stuffed monkey. So like one year, like haha, they thought it was funny. It was like a Curious George cake because he's a monkey. So,
Okay.
so it was more like we went with the cakes instead of more like the themey parties, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
What about you? Did you have any like ones that stood out to you when you were a kid?
Not that fully I can remember at the moment, but I do remember, like, I think it was in, like, 5th grade, I had, like, a sleepover, like, birthday party at my house, and this was, I think, the first year that I had a TV in my bedroom.
Ooh.
But my parents didn't allow us to have cable on our TVs in our bedrooms. So we had like the classic antennas.
Oh, so you had like the basic like 4 or 5 channels.
Yes.
Cable.
Yeah, it was like 5 channels. And I remember I probably had like 6 friends spend the night in my room. And we put on like the PBS channel.
Oh yeah.
And it was like midnight.
What were they even showing at midnight?
And my mom was like, "You girls need to go to bed." And we're like, okay, mom, okay, Pam.
It's like, sorry, mom, we're busy
gonna-
watching Planet Earth: The History of Pluto.
No. So we put it down to like level, like volume 2,
Okay.
and then eventually we just muted it.
Okay.
It was Clifford's Puppy Days
at like midnight.
at like midnight.
What?
And so we're sitting there.
That is so random.
We're sitting there, and like each of us took on like we were gonna voice a character.
Oh my god.
So like someone was Emily Elizabeth, someone was Clifford, someone was the little fat pug dog.
I was gonna ask. I was like, is that the one with like the little pug and the poodle
Yes.
that were like his best friends or something?
Yes. And we saw, I think the episode had something to do with like a birthday party, so fitting. But I just remember us being in my childhood bedroom watching Clifford's Puppy Days, and one of them trying to do a Valley Girl accent every time they voiced the dog, like the poodle dog, and being like, "Hey guys, we're gonna do a totally tubular party for Clifford's birthday. We're gonna do this totally tubular party."
How old were you guys at this time?
Like 9.
Okay, so you guys
10?
were like young kids. Got it.
We were like 15 going, "Oh my god, totally tubular party."
I mean, wouldn't have judged you if you were, but
This was either my 9th or my 10th birthday. And we're just sitting there at midnight, most of them in their sleeping bags and stuff and air mattresses, me in my bed, and we're like, totally tubular party. We need to get the party hats for the totally tubular party that we're throwing for Clifford's totally tubular birthday.
Oh my God.
And then I just remember going to school, and it was like the first time I felt like in this new school I had like an inside joke with my friends.
I love that.
Because we'd walk the halls and stuff, and we would see each other, and then we'd go, oh my God, it's time to have a totally tubular party. And nobody knew what we were talking about, obviously. But anytime like we would see something, like it would be like my fifth grade, I think one of my fourth grade or fifth grade teachers always carried butterscotch at his desk. Mm-hmm. And so I'd be like, oh my God, like I was obsessed with butterscotch because that's like the candy he allowed us to have. Mm-hmm. And then my one friend would come over and she'd go, oh my God, it's totally tubular butterscotch.
You're like, this is ridiculous, but it's great.
It was so fucking stupid.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure like in the recesses of my brain, if I like pulled it out, I could remember more stuff. But also, like this time of year too, it's like my cousin and I, he's a year older than me. Uh-huh. And so my birthday is June 22nd and his is the 25th. Mm-hmm. So we're a year apart and like 3 days. So it always like when we were growing up, it was always like family parties and back to back and that kind of stuff. So it was just a lot to keep up with.
Yeah.
So he obviously had more themes than me, but also he's a boy. He was very much into like Transformers and superheroes and whatchamacalled Power Rangers. So it was always that kind of stuff. Oh, yeah. I remember he had a Pokemon one at one point because there are pictures of that somewhere around that time. A Pokemon theme party. Yeah. But I don't know. I remember when I was 16, we had my birthday at the beach.
Oh, that's cool.
I very specifically remember that party because I think it was around that time when we started getting tornado warnings more frequently, and so there was like a really bad storm at the beach. Ooh. And my parents freaked out because some of my friends went missing under their watch.
Oh fuck.
I mean, we found them afterwards obviously, but like in the midst of this whole crazy storm, we're like packing up and trying to huddle down, and it's like my friends and my family. And then they were looking for, at this point, I don't remember who the heck they were looking for, but it was a couple of our friends, like my brother and I, and we're just like, we don't know where they are. And my parents were like, oh my God, we lost someone's children. But they showed up and everything was fine after the fact. But I was like, I very distinctly remember that because of the weather warning.
Oh my God. And knowing your mom too, like your mom especially, I feel like, okay, rephrase that. Knowing your parents as well as I do, I feel like your mom in that situation was just like kind of panicking, like, oh my God, we need to find the kids. Oh my God, where could they have been? But your dad would have been like, what the hell, Darlene? Why the hell did they leave?
We're supposed to be watching the kids.
Why the hell did they leave? Yeah, run from a tornado.
So low-key, you know, they usually listen every week. They think it's so funny when we have anecdotes and mention them on the podcast. So, hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. We're mentioning you again. Do you feel great? Here's another shout out.
Now I feel like I need to sharpen up my mic impression. I haven't had to do that in a while.
You know what? You do a pretty good one.
Well, what the heck? Well, why did they run away from the tornado? The tornado's gonna scoop them up, and I won't even know where they went because they got scooped up by the tornado.
If you have any criticisms,
Darlene, put that over CD on for me.
You know what? He's upgraded. He streams the music now from his phone. Wow. I'm so proud of him. I know he's got his little Bluetooth speakers, and he uses the iHeartRadio and all of that stuff. So I was like, yeah. I'm very proud of him with his upgrades in technology. We've graduated.
I love that.
I love that for him.
I love that. Oh my God. Well, and last year you had your like luau theme for your 30th birthday.
Yeah. No, that was a good time. It was a good time, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like, books. If you had to like name your favorite like birthday theme that you've ever done, what would it be?
What would it be? Honestly, see, this is where I feel like I remember more of my brother's stuff than my own stuff, because I didn't always have birthday parties. Like sometimes we would just go and do stuff, but like for some of the ones that we did do, they were good. Like I always appreciated just getting together and seeing everybody and hanging out with the family. So I think it's more not even the theme. I think it's just more of like the memories and funny things I remember associated with that.
Okay.
Because one year, it was one year my aunt made me a birthday cake. Like my aunt, she really likes to bake and stuff like that. So one year she made me a birthday cake. It looked like spaghetti and meatballs. And like the meatballs were like those Ferrero Rocher candies.
Okay.
With the crispy bits.
Yeah.
So I'm just like I said, it's not even the themes I remember. It's more like the little things that go with it that stick in my brain. So like I remember the silly cakes, or like, oh hey, this type of thing happened, even if I'm like I can't extract necessarily the theme from my brain. But no, as of recent, at least, definitely, like, last year was a great time. The luau theme was fun. And the fact that, like, mostly everybody participated, too. Like, they showed up in, like, luau shirts, or we had, like, little umbrellas or, like, leis they could wear or whatever. Yeah. So that was super fun. That was a really good time.
It was cool.
That was always such a good time.
Yeah, because you had us all, like, you're like, hey, guys, make sure you wear a Hawaiian shirt for this party. I remember when
I didn't know if anybody was gonna, so I was like, hey, if you want to, that's cool. If you don't, that's fine.
But like, that's such an easy thing to go on theme of, like, versus like the fact that I've wanted to do a fucking Flavor of Love themed party for years and be like, hey guys, I need you all to dress like you're in an early 2000s Jersey Shore, and I'm gonna give you weird nicknames like mangoes because you have boobs, or peaches because your ass is fat. That's like,
you're like, this is something very specific to me.
Literally, you're like, just put on a Hawaiian shirt and you're gonna be on theme. Exactly. And for the most part, you can find them pretty cheap on like online or in a thrift store. So it's like, that's like the easiest thing. See, you think for the people. I think for myself.
You know what? I didn't think of a theme for this year just because with Fan Expo and everything and coming back and getting into work, I was like, just show up. We'll hang out and have fun.
Yeah.
I bought stuff for s'mores if the weather's nice, because I was like, ooh, we got a fire pit. I want to make some s'mores.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just like, yeah. I don't know what that was.
Well, I mean, speaking of s'mores in the fire pit.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. Welcome to the 23rd inaugural episode of the Between the Fridges podcast. My name is Carly.
My name is Amanda.
And our third host today is Birth.
Just Birth?
Birth. Because today, as of recording, it is June 22nd. And you have been paying attention. You will know why June 22nd is important. Why is it important, Amanda?
I don't know. I'm just kidding. It's my birthday.
It's Amanda's birthday today. It's Amanda's birthday today. I hope I find like mariachi music to put in the background.
Just play over it.
Yeah, so like you're old as hell now.
Oh my god! at my old age of 31 years old. 31.
That means. Do you know what time you were born?
I think it was like 10, 11 something. I think it was in the morning.
Okay.
I have to double check my facts. Mom, if I'm wrong, can you let me know? Thanks.
Yeah, so you better figure that out so you can get your birth chart.
Because I don't completely remember.
Find out your big three, your astrology big three.
I don't actually. I just know my basic, hey, this is what I am.
Which is
I am a Cancer.
You have Cancer?
I have the Cancer, yes.
Don't die of intensive care on me, girl.
You know what? You are the intensive care assassin, so.
No, it's an alternate universe. Oh my gosh.
But no, that's literally, I just know what my like astrological sign is, and that's about it.
We're gonna have to figure that out.
We will.
We have to figure that out. Get your time of birth.
Uh-huh.
And then you know what? Next week we can go over our astrological birth charts.
Man, this is a whole thing. I am not even in the know.
Yeah. We can go over like a little astrological birth chart. And you know what? If there's any more updates, we can even talk about the submarine. Rest in peace to the imploded submarine.
Yeah, that whole thing is kind of crazy.
Yeah, but it's your birthday, so I can't believe a submarine imploded on itself knowing that it's your birthday today.
I mean, They're
stealing
sure.
the spotlight. They're stealing the spotlight. They said, we're going to get fucking lost down near the fucking Titanic. I want to find Jack's body, bitch. Where's Jack? And I'm like, that's so fucking selfish on Amanda's birthday.
Damn.
You know what?
What?
I'm glad it imploded. That's what they get for trying to steal your spotlight on your birthday.
You're just like, yeah, y'all deserved it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Fucking whores.
It's fine.
Fucking bitches.
Oh, man. Shenanigans.
Well, speaking of shenanigans, I feel like that's like one of your top 5 words. My shenanigans. You know what it is. My slay is your shenanigans.
Absolutely. And it's been shenanigans for a fairly long time.
It has been a very long time.
It has. But you know what? It's a classic. It's always in my arsenal. I pull it out when it's appropriate.
You're like, I've been fired from my job. My friends have left me. My family's dead. But when in doubt, I still got shenanigans.
Damn, when the chips are down, still got shenanigans. Oh my god.
You're in the final boss fight. And the fucking octopus with 17 arms is taking all of your guns. And you're like, I got one more thing for you, Kraken. And the Kraken's like, what? The power of friendship? And you're like, no, the power of shenanigans, bitch. And he's like, oh no, that's my greatest weakness.
No. It's like anime death here. No.
What I was gonna say was, since for my birthday we had a little like get to know you segment.
We did.
We thought it'd be a great idea. To do one for you as well. Yeah, if you guys haven't heard my little get to know you episode, mine was episode 16. Carly is 30.
Yes.
So would not be surprised if I title this one Amanda is 31. So original. And also
it's just the facts, man. I am 31.
And also the fact that my birthday episode is our least streamed episode.
Rude.
That's criminal.
Rude. I am offended for Carly.
That's honestly kind of criminal. So
rude. Give her some love, bitches.
No, I'm not saying that just to be like, go stream my episode. But I'm like, your birthday episode better get more streams than mine.
I'll say it for you. It's fine.
I want to have the least streamed episode. They're like, Carly talks about herself for an hour?
Block. What the fuck?
Oh my gosh, I have the hiccups. I downed a fucking handful of croutons before I came up here, and now it's getting to me. So
it's that dry bread, man.
It's that dry bread.
It's that dry bread.
But yeah, so I thought I would go through probably a pretty similar list that you had. And hopefully I'm not asking you the same questions. I didn't listen back to the episode that we did to be like, what questions did she ask me?
I'll be honest, I don't even really remember what questions I asked you.
I mean, to be fair, that was like 2 months ago to the day. And
That's
for the
valid.
most part, I don't really remember what we talk about on the podcast after like 2 weeks.
That's super valid, dude.
So if somebody's like, hey, Carly, you definitely said in episode 3 that you would run over a bunch of billionaires with a semi-truck if you were given $20 and a Chili's gift card. I'd be like, really?
You're like, wow, that's news to me.
I did? Somebody out there go fact check that. And if you do end up fact checking it and it was either correct or incorrect, let me know and I can give you a $20 Chili's gift card.
Incentive for fact checking.
Yeah, that was episode 3, Who Farted. If you need the verification. Anyways, so I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. Obviously, anything that you're not comfortable answering, just pass and then I'll edit it out or whatever. But you guys won't even know which ones I edit out, which is the beauty of it.
The beauty of editing.
So as a light question to start off.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sandwich and where did you eat it?
That's an oddly specific question.
No, that's a light question.
A light question?
I'm not out here being like, tell me about your existential values as a human being. I'm like, what's your favorite sandwich?
Favorite sandwich? Okay, so like, does it have to specifically be a sandwich or can it be like a sub?
I mean, it is your birthday, so I guess I can.
So you're like, I will let you.
I guess I can levy the rules and say you can say a sub.
I can say a sub. Okay.
I mean, because technically, like, when you go to Subway, they say Subway sandwich.
Okay, that's valid.
Or they say submarine sandwich.
Submarine sandwich.
In our parts, they call them like
sub
what? Sandwiches. So yeah, a sub could count. If you say meatball, I swear to God.
No. Okay, so like, I wouldn't necessarily say from a place, but like just because I have a memory attached to it.
Okay.
So when we were younger, we would pack picnics and we would go to the amusement park during the summer.
Yes.
So we would bring like, I don't know, Kool-Aid jammers and high seas and like make sandwiches and shit and all that. So, we would make like turkey and like cheese or ham and cheese. And my mom and my aunt, I think it was my aunt, we would have like snacks with us too, right? So she showed us how to put the chips in our sandwich. And so we ate the chips in our sandwich. So, I mean, you can go anywhere to get a decent sandwich. But I think just because it's like I have memories attached to that, I'm like, give me a classic like turkey and cheese with some, I don't know, Ruffles chips or Doritos and some shit and put that on the sandwich and
oh my God.
Taste the nostalgia, man.
Right? I feel like anytime I eat a sandwich and put a chip in it, like my hands automatically get pruny because I would normally eat a chippy sandwich after getting out of like a friend's pool or like at the beach or the state parks or something like that. And so my hands would be raisiny and I'd be eating this chippy sandwich with raisin hands. I mean, I don't know what other people call them. I just like to call them chippy sandwiches, but that's what my grandpa called those, chippy sandwich.
No, that's valid. Like no, it definitely, like, my brain is attached to that. But like local, if we're talking about like a good sandwich, you got to go to the fancy sandwich shop, the one by the mall.
Yes, yes, because it's that one restaurant. Well, it's that one sandwich place that has like the hot sandwiches.
Yes,
that are named after like Renaissance paintings.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but yeah, if you're going, you gotta. I think it's like I get the Michelangelo. I think it's called. It has like, I think it's like got like ham and cheese and something spicy in it, and like you put the like some kind of chipotle sauce and like the mac and cheese on it. Ugh.
Oh, delicious.
So good. But yeah, like favorite sandwich, hands down, go there.
And they sell tater tots now.
What?
Oh my God. When I went in there the one time because I was like, I'm itching for a sandwich.
We gotta go. I
was like, I'm itching for a sandwich. And they were like, you want tots with that? And I was like, do I want what with what? And they were like, yeah, we sell tater tots now. And I was like, fuck my asshole.
Were they good?
Yeah, they're delicious.
We gotta go to the Renaissance sandwich shop.
We gotta go to the sandwich place.
But yeah, so good.
Here's another one for you because you've seen more movies than I have.
I mean, maybe.
I've seen like 5. What's your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time?
Yes.
Dang. For the longest time, it used to be like the original Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Like, I really, really liked that movie. But, like, I feel like your movies, like, your favorite things sometimes change.
Of course they change. I think you're not growing as a person if you're not at least evaluating some of your favorites and if they're not evolving or whatever. But there are things that are always going to have, like, a little nostalgia factor to you that are just going to be, like...
Oh, no, for sure.
Your fave forever.
For sure. No, but I think, like, definitely probably, like, up there in my favorites. One that comes to mind immediately is probably Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, because, like, when we were younger, we grew up watching them. And then one Christmas, my aunt got my brother and I lightsabers when the prequels came out. So, like, I still have mine. And I'm not sure what happened to my brothers, but he had Obi-Wan's and I had Anakin's. So I still have that sitting in my closet somewhere. Still works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just, like I said, I am a very intentional person. Like, I like to do things with just, you know, positive and good intentions behind them. Like, make them meaningful. So I think that's why a lot of, like, the things that come to mind or are important to me, like, very much tie into positive things and good memories and that sort of thing. So yeah, definitely Star Wars for sure.
Do you have any others that are like a top, or are you just like that is the cap?
No, I mean, well, that's definitely one of them because I mean, even still, we would go to midnight premieres and stuff. It's the same thing. It's like just essentially, I think of like bonding moments with my brother and I. Yeah. Just because, you know, he's in California, he's not here, so we would do a lot of things together or like keep in contact. Like we would go to, like I said, the midnight premieres for Star Wars. We would do the same thing when the Harry Potter movies came out. So I mean, even amongst all of the stuff with that, like I still have very fond memories of going to see those movies. So, you know, for that, some of those will always be my favorites. My favorite Harry Potter was always the third one, though.
Yeah,
Prisoner
that one was my favorite too.
No shit.
Yeah, that one literally was my favorite. I loved the way, I loved like the animation of like the scene where he's on the double-decker bus.
That was always so good.
The whole concept of like the time turner and things. I really just wanted Harry and Hermione to get together. So
you're like, and smooch.
Yeah. So really it just was like, if you wanted the best movie to be like, these two about to fuck. It's Harry and
is the third one.
It's the third movie with Harry and Hermione using the time turner going around wherever and whoever. Oh, yeah, that movie's so good.
My favorite part was when she punched Malfoy in the face.
Well, that too.
That was always iconic. But yeah.
That's the moment where Emma Watson punched Tom Felton in the face. That was when I was like, switching sides. Like.
No, definitely that is up there with them. the Halloween movies too, like the OG.
Oh, Halloween.
Like the Halloween franchise.
I almost was like, oh my god, the one with Debbie Reynolds. That's Halloween Town.
That's Halloween Town. Although, you know what? We did watch the shit out of Disney Channel movies as kids. So, I mean, that could very well be in there, too. We loved the Halloween Town movies until they got really bad and just not good to watch.
Where they replaced Marty.
Exactly.
And they brought Lucas Grabeel on and was like, and they played that Jesse McCartney song while they were on the broomstick flying around the college.
Yeah.
Amen. Take me on a Sunday. I've been feeling lonely. I could use a little more time with you. Which, honestly, one of Jesse McCartney's best songs. I Am a Beautiful Soul hater. I love that song.
Oh, shit.
However, every time I hear that song, I think of Halloween Town 4.
Yeah, that was just we try to forget about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enough about movies.
No, you're good. Oh, Scream was one of them too.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, that I had a brain thought because we would always watch
Scream is fun.
Yeah, we would always watch the OG 3, like the original trilogy, around Halloween time. So that was always super good time.
Mhm. I love that.
Mhm.
Trying to find a good one because like some of this like articles who's what's it is just like a little yicky.
Oh no.
Not in a bad way. It's just like
I was like, oh no, not yicky.
It's just like, okay, this isn't that would have been a fun question to ask if we didn't do the Fan Expo episode.
But we did. So it's fine.
Yeah. Ooh, here's a good one. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh my god. Damn, I haven't been to karaoke in such a long time.
But like there's a karaoke bar by our house.
That is true.
If we were to pack up the car right now and drive to the karaoke bar, and hypothetically they have every song in the history of the universe, what would you pick?
What would I pick? Honestly, again, just because it's what comes to mind. So when I worked at Chick-fil-A in the very early days, we would have the Christmas parties at the store, like at the location.
Yeah.
On Sundays. And there were a couple of them where we had karaoke and it was so great. It was the best time. But probably my go-to, just because I think of it now, would probably be Mamma Mia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like something from ABBA.
That's so fun.
Because it's always a good time. Or like even, I don't know, probably some 80s cheesy something song that everybody knows. You know, just because it's like they stick in your brain. They're fun to sing. Or like, you know, Cyndi Lauper, Girls Want to Have Fun. Like something just that is a good time.
Yeah.
That's timeless. That you know is going to get, you know, people hyped up in a good way. So probably something like that.
That's always a fun one. ABBA, I feel like ABBA makes me think of like yacht moms.
Yacht moms?
Yeah, like moms on a yacht wearing the floppy hats and drinking their wine coolers.
With the sunglasses.
But in the best way. In the best way.
In the best way. Honestly, that's so valid. So valid. I want to aspire to be a yacht mom now. Find me a yacht.
Find me a yacht dad.
Find me a yacht dad. Hey, if there are any yacht dads out there, we'll plug the email address. Send us an email at betweenthebridges@gmail.com. We're single.
Oh my god. Here's another good one.
Mm-hmm.
What is something that is always guaranteed going to make you laugh?
So something guaranteed to always make me laugh.
Is it Lin-Manuel Miranda popping off?
At this point, yes, that inside joke will always make me laugh. But I was going to say, if I'm having a shitty day, just because you've known me for so long, and I know we talked about it on the podcast because I've done the impression. Anything YouTube related or video related to Toad. Like the stupid covers on YouTube give me life. Like Toad singing, like, oh my god, how does that not make you laugh? Like, like it's so stupid, but it's guaranteed to get me every time.
If you had to pick like the Toad cover.
The Toad cover?
The Toad cover.
Chandelier, hands down.
Yeah. That is a good one.
That is a good one.
Whoever did the chandelier Toad cover, first of all, I hope your vocal cords are okay.
Yeah.
Because that shit was wild.
Thank you for your service.
Second of all, that is in syndication in this household.
It's iconic.
Is there a Toad cover that you have not heard yet but would like to hear?
Oh, you know what? I don't know if it's been done, but like I feel like Ozzy Osbourne, like Crazy Train, would be fun as hell.
We'll find it.
I feel like that would be good.
If there is a Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne, Toad cover, I will put a little snippet of it right here. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. And if I couldn't find an Ozzy Osbourne Crazy Train Toad cover, I hope you guys enjoyed whatever I put there. Cause
we'll find out.
Something's gonna go there.
We'll find out what it is.
I got some.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you. You want to get a little deeper with it?
Yeah, we can do that.
Get a little deeper with it.
That's cool.
So let me know if this question doesn't make sense.
Okay.
How are you feeling about this birthday? Like you've just completed a year.
Like how I feel about turning 31 or like just the last year?
I think collectively, like how you feel about the year as a whole. I see birthdays as like, I don't see it as an end to anything. I see it as a beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Of basically like your birth year.
Mm-hmm.
So like how do you feel overall looking back at your 30th year of life?
Overall, I feel like my 20s definitely kicked my ass.
Well, yeah.
As they do. Mm-hmm. And I learned a lot, but I feel like coming into 30, and now, turning 31, mm-hmm. I feel like I have learned a lot about myself as a person.
Yeah.
And kind of just started to not give a fuck, but like in a good way.
Yeah.
Just like continuing to take the hurdles that life throws at me. Like it's been a good year. Like I've mm-hmm. learned a lot about myself, done a lot of growth. Just trying to figure out things in my life that I want to do and I want to change. And essentially I marked turning 30 as like the year of doing. And I feel like I've done different things and I've tried new things mm-hmm. and I've put myself out there in different mm-hmm. ways. And I look back and I am just proud of the effort, I think, because I can tell that, sometimes things were awkward and uncomfortable, but mm-hmm. that's just what comes with growth. Yeah. Doing different things and learning what works and learning what doesn't work and continuing to just try my best, even when I feel like that's not enough.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
So I look back on it and I'm just like, girl, you grew up. Like in a good way and mm-hmm. acknowledge that. And I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Acknowledge it.
Acknowledge me, tribal chief. But no, definitely, sure. I'm proud of the growth for sure.
I'm gonna make sure I put it. Acknowledge me.
Acknowledge me. Yes, my tribal chief. Anything for you, my tribal chief.
Anything for you, my tribal chief. I'll suck your penis.
Paul Heyman, we acknowledge your existence.
Oh my god. My god. But you said that you kind of made a point where you were like, I tried making sure this year that like part of my 30s, like I'm gonna start not giving a fuck. Can you like elaborate on that? Like, what's something that you did this year that you were like, I don't fucking care. I'm gonna do this anyways.
So like, I'm just being honest about it. I deal with anxiety. Like, so I deal with depression and I deal with anxiety.
Oh my god.
Chronically ill.
Oh my god, we have the same exact diagnosis.
Oh my god.
Welcome to the mentally ill club.
Mentally ill best friends. Oh my god, now I can't even remember what the fucking question was.
Because I had asked you, you had said that you were going to, quote, stop giving a fuck. What was something that you did this year that reflected that?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, our generation is millennials. So I feel like so much shit, like not even necessarily by our parents or whatever, but it's just like society is like pushed on you. Like, oh, what are you doing at this point in life? You should be doing this. You should be doing that. Like, you got to go to work. You got to do this. You got to do that. And it's like, yes, we do. But I feel like collectively and looking back on it now, our generation essentially wears burnout as like a badge of honor.
Yes. And they do.
And we should not, because it is not only not good for your mental well-being, but your physical well-being, everything involved. And so I've kind of just been like, okay, work will still be there. Things will still be there. I go in this day. Like, if I am not there, things are not going to burn to the ground. And if they do, we'll fucking pick up the pieces and deal with it. Like, so I've, been taking the time off and, giving myself that break to be away from work when I'm not there. Just trying to be more intentional in how I do things in life. Yeah. Like, all right, we're not working today. No, you're getting your shit done at work and you're not taking X, Y, and Z home with you, or you're not working on this at home because that's your home time. So, like I said, taking off and doing things like, we're going to see that comedy show in a couple weeks, and I essentially took 2 weeks off from work and had like a staycation to use the rest of my PTO for this year, and going to Fan Expo and just, us playing D&D and just watching movies with our friends and having game nights. So it's like just having fun and not feeling guilty for having fun when I could be doing essentially other things or more productive things or blah, blah, blah. So no, just trying to essentially give that part of myself the break it deserves and just be like, yeah, we're doing this, we're doing that, cool, not worried about it. So because I feel like I know with me, like my brain, when I get anxious, my brain will reel like, oh, you could be doing this right now, or you could be doing that, or why are you sitting on the couch watching TV? You need to do the dishes or clean this or clean that. Like, it's just the hamster wheel starts going.
Right.
So sometimes I literally have to tell myself, I'm like, Amanda, just fuck it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, because X, Y, and Z thing is still going to be there tomorrow or in 2 hours or whatever, however long I'm, giving myself a break to do whatever. Like, I'm not going to be guilty for doing the things I like anymore or investing time and energy and money into things I enjoy just because I could, quote unquote, be doing other things.
Right.
If that makes sense. I know that was kind of long-winded explanation.
I think that makes sense.
But yeah, definitely. I'm trying to just continue with the mindset of like, yeah, we're here on this earth for a short period of time. Tomorrow is still not guaranteed. So let's have fun and do the things that we like to do and invest in the things that we like to enjoy while we're here. Find a balance, make it work.
Yeah.
So
do you feel like that's like your biggest change in yourself that you've had since your last birthday, or is there something a little bit more significant that you feel like has shifted in you?
I feel like with that too, I know, old habits die hard. Like, I am very much, and I've been working on it. Like, I know in certain capacities, I am a people pleaser, but you forget about yourself sometimes and put yourself on the back burner. So just essentially, I think just working on boundaries, whether it's with friends, family, whatever, work, that I've definitely been trying to put myself and what I need a little bit more in the forefront. Like, I'm going to use work as an example. Recently, like, I thought things over and I mulled things over for months, and now I'm working in a different group home. Like, that doesn't mean that I failed. That just means that, that environment wasn't where I needed to be and wasn't helping me have balance in my own life because I was so stressed out and exhausted all the time.
Yeah.
So I think thinking about yourself and sometimes being a little selfish is okay. And I'm still working on that and learning that, putting yourself first is not a bad thing.
No.
It is not at all. That you need to think about what you need and what's going to best work for you and balance your own needs. So I think just kind of a combination of those things, like essentially, like I said, not giving a fuck, trying to focus on myself and my needs and my energy so that if I'm full, I can continue to be myself and give off the best version of me and fill up, the people that I choose to spend time with and care about.
Right.
So
now, do you think that this is like, hypothetically, let's say like the person from like 15, 16 years ago, so like your 16-year-old self, what do you think your 16-year-old self would look at you and be proud of?
Oh my God, so many things. Like, I think back to that time, I was so much more introverted. Like, I was specifically an introvert, had like 4 friends, very quiet, very inside my own little thing, like just kind of starting to branch out in high school at that point. Like, just, I think I would be so proud of myself the way I am now. Like, am I completely where I want to be? No. But the fact that, I'm doing things I want to do and enjoying them and, just trying different things and different hobbies and, going places and doing things and meeting different people and connecting with people in positive ways. Like, just essentially, I wish I had a me at that point. Like, I think that would have definitely benefited my younger self. So just kind of, I'm not 100% comfortable like in my body, but I definitely have come to grow and love and accept myself more than I have in probably a really long time.
Yeah.
So I think that's important. And I think that would definitely benefit my younger self, who was insecure as fuck and very just quiet, scared, didn't want to say the wrong thing, didn't want to do the wrong thing, didn't want to rub people the wrong way. Like, so, but yeah, here I am doing the fun stuff, doing the things. The podcast is one of them. Great time, different avenues, different hobbies, being independent, talking how I want, dressing how I want. Like, it's just empowering to have a sense of self when I don't think I used to have one. So,
yeah. And I hope that you can I hope you can look at this not just like, even though you say like, am I in the place I want to be in? No, but I hope you can still look at that regardless and see that you have like, there is progress and growth in you. And I hope that you can take that time to still like be proud of yourself in those moments, because it's each time we decide that like, hey, I'm gonna change something up about myself, whether it be a physical thing, whether it be an external thing, whether it be an internal thing, you're making a conscious decision to cut something off of your identity and make something else out of it.
Right.
And that is all life is. a big part of life. If you want to grow, you always have to cut off the dead parts of yourself that no longer are suiting you and no longer are like supplementing you in a positive way.
Right.
And so it's always important to be able to look at those things, take inventory of ourselves, take stock of those things, and go, okay, is this thing that I do, or this thing I'm associated with, or this thing that, like, this thought process that I internalize, is this something that is, like, positively benefiting me? Is this something that is positively benefiting the people around me? And if the answer is no, then you've got so much time to look at that, look deep into yourself, and cut off those dead branches. And hopefully, like, something new will grow out of that. I think a big thing, I mean, like, both of us are plus size women, and that, I know, at least for me, that's something that I had to, like, tell myself, because I didn't want to accept the fact that I was a fat person, because people stigmatize it so much. That doesn't make it bad. It's a state of your body. And so, like, I literally remember, like, being in my car, and, like, I would, like, drive around, and, like, at one point I had to, like, stop, and I was just like, okay, like, literally repeating in my head and out loud, like, I am a plus size woman. I'm fat. I am a plus size woman. I'm fat. That doesn't make it bad. And, like, instead of, you know, I know that people, like, when we were involved in the church, I know that was, like, a huge thing. I remember there being weight loss groups. I remember there being weight loss, like, biblical weight loss groups where people would, like, we would read the Bible and do Pilates. And did you ever do that?
I did for a little while.
Me too. Oh my gosh, lay.
Fat girl phobia was real.
What's that?
I said fat girl phobia was real.
Yeah, because we won't get into that. We'll get into that in another episode.
Right.
But basically, like, that, just trying to change your perception of your physical body alone takes a lot of work. And even if you're not happy with where, like, it's not a bad thing if you're like, I love, like, I'm going to love the body that I'm in, but does that mean I want it to stay this way? No. Like, you do not have to, you don't have to be, like, content with where you're at. There's always healthy ways to be able to, like, improve yourself if you're able to. Now, we totally understand, as, like I said, as plus size people, if, like, you have a condition that like, we understand if there's a condition that makes your body the way it is. That's not a bad thing. I know that people, like, talk about, you know, like, there's a whole, like, body positivity movement, and I think a more important conversation is to be comfortable. So I always talk about body comfort. I'm like, am I comfortable in the little meat sack that I'm in right now? But my point of that tangent is, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of self-work and, like, mental effort to change the rhetoric about yourself that you have internalized for so long, and in some ways has been externalized by the people around you. And so I hope, like, this is not a time for you to sit here and be humble about it. I hope that you can look at yourself, and if you can be proud of, like, anything that you have done, I hope that you can at least look at that and have a little bit of, like, self-conceitedness and some pride in yourself. because that's not work that anybody else can do for you.
Right.
That's work that you have to do yourself on your own. Right. Because the thing is, I can tell you all these amazing things about you until I'm blue in the face and in the grave.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I can tell it to you, but you gotta like take that in yourself.
Oh, right.
And so I'm really glad that you're like being in a, like getting to a place where that is something that you have been working on and are continuing to work on.
Right. No, definitely. Because I was just like, my self-esteem was way in the shitter before. Like, I'm looking over, at least, you know, honestly, since we've moved in together and became roommates like 5 years ago, like, I just think about essentially my growth trajectory since then.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool to just see the version that you were and the version that I am now. Because I was like, yeah, my self-esteem was in the shitter. Like, I feel decently about myself now for the most part. Like, I am very proud that has improved. I am very glad that I've become more decisive in certain aspects. So, no, definitely, comfort in yourself is so, so important. So important. Growth is always a process, and I definitely still believe that. For sure.
Is there anything that you're ready to let go of?
Like anything in general, or just
whatever your heart's telling you.
I have let go a lot of like just anger and frustration and you know, just for the brief Cliff Notes version, I had a lot of family stuff happen over, like, honestly, the last 5 years or so, starting when my grandpa passed away. And, you know, whenever the matriarch or patriarch passes away, like, everything kind of disintegrates.
Yeah.
And crumbles. Like, the first set of holidays were really, really rough. And now everybody kind of does their own thing. And it's always difficult to see things that brought you comfort and essentially stability crumble. But I have learned to take those memories for what they are. Still cherish them, still hold on to them, but be able to be comfortable in the now and how things have changed. Like, you know, we celebrate holidays with our immediate family. You know, started our own traditions with our families and friends, having people over, having get-togethers, having Friendsgiving, you know, Christmas parties, whatever. And I think it's important to, in that capacity, be proud of the friendships and relationships you cultivate and have that be a proof that, yes, people will come and go, but the people that matter and the things that matter will continue to stay with you through any season of life.
Yeah.
So I think just finally letting go of like anger and frustration and sadness and the, you know, the things that get your hamster wheel going, the things that, you know, you talk about with your friends or family or therapist, just having those supports and being able to essentially smile because it happened and look back on those memories fondly, but still be able to pick yourself up and move forward and continue to look forward to the new traditions and the things you have established on your own, because found family and relationships are just as important as essentially grieving and getting over the ones that you've lost along the way. So just, I guess, having a greater appreciation for what I have now as opposed to grieving the things that I've lost, because it's like things are done. People, things, relationships, whatever. Unfortunately, some things come to an end. That's just a part of life, you know. People move, people stop talking to each other. You know, unfortunately, you deal with, you know, death as a very real thing. But you acknowledge it, you accept it, you have your emotions, and you move forward. So I think just continuing to acknowledge that things do happen and being able to unpack it and move on from it is so important. And I think that, yeah, it's still a process, but letting things go is a lot easier than you think.
Yeah.
So
when you think of like the past year, you know, June 22nd of 2022 to June 21st of 2023, do you have like any specific like memories from this past year that you kind of cherish or kind of go back to a lot, and what makes those things the most memorable of the year?
Oh my gosh. Dang, you're getting me some heavy hitters, man.
I am. I told you.
You did, but I
just didn't want to keep going. What's your favorite color? And what's your favorite snack? And what's your favorite sandwich? No, like
yeah, that stuff's fun, but it's like we are intentional bitches here. We talk about our feelings.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you cherish?
What do I cherish? Oh my god.
No, honestly, well, obviously we're doing one of those things right now. We're recording the podcast because this was just a little haha running joke for the longest time.
Yeah, for a few years.
And we bought the equipment, and then we had roommate stuff happen, and so timing and jobs and all of that. So just kind of figuring out how we were actually going to do this and get the project off the ground. So I very much enjoy that we can literally just have a conversation in a room for an hour about whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
Because obviously, yeah, when we record, it's a little more fine-tuned, but it's like we really just want you guys to picture hanging out with us in the living room talking about random shit.
Literally.
Because it's so fun. Like I said, the energy really isn't that different. Like, yeah, we're a little more unhinged, but
I think we're the same level of hinged, except
in some instances.
Except we play it up a little bit more.
In some instances.
For entertainment purposes, but
depends on what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Depends on what we're talking about.
Right.
But no, this is so fun. I'm so glad like this is something we get to do and something we get to share together because yes, you were my friend. You were one of my best friends, and I appreciate you and love you so much. And like this project just makes me happy.
Yeah.
So getting to do this, hang out with you every week because we're busy and we work a lot, and you know, life and family and events and friends and whatever. Like this is always a really fun, good time for me. So I look forward to it. And I think just getting to better connect with our friend group. So, you know, you have friends, I have friends. A lot of our friends overlap at this point.
Yeah.
Be it, you know, if they're siblings or they know each other or, you know, from our church days or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But I always really enjoy, you know, when we get to do D&D too. So Nina's our DM. Nina, friend of the podcast. Hey, Nina. But no, that's always super fun. Like, and just, you know, not taking yourself so seriously and just trying new things in that. And I'm like, we've been doing this for a while now, consistently since you got the new job. So that's been awesome. So just, you know, learning and growing and asking questions and not feeling stupid and bouncing ideas and backstories. And like, I love that it's a creative outlet. And it just makes me so happy because we have such a great time. The character dynamics are great. And it's just another really fun, just creative. I know it's not a project, but like that's kind of how my brain sees it as like, oh, what are you going to do for your character? What are they going to do in this scenario? Like, oh shit, you have 5 seconds to make a decision. Like, so I think it's helping with like my impromptu on the fly stuff. Cause it's like, I look back, I was like, this is not the same brain that I would code MySpace layouts with. We got some brain problems now. I blame it on mental illness. But no, that's always super fun. And then there's just the little things. Like I said, it's the small things that I think are important. So, like, you know, hey, I thought of you today, so here's your favorite candy. Or I knew you were having a bad day, so we're going to watch a movie today or some shit. Or just small things to me are important.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I lost my train of thought.
That's okay.
Yeah, small things are important. And I think what I just really love and appreciate the most is people's energy and efforts. Like last year for, you know, my 30th birthday, and I think of my mindset then, I was like, holy shit, people came to your birthday. Like, and we had like 30 some people up in this house in the backyard, and it was so much fun. And it just makes you realize that when things are important and they're able to work out, they're so great and they're wonderful. And like, I very much cherish that, because it's like everybody has different schedules and time constraints and their own creative projects and different things that they do and work. And just having so many people that I cared about in one place. And, you know, I had friends come from out of town, and it was just an awesome time seeing all of our friends and different family members and people we've, you know, only met a few times just interact.
Yeah.
And so it just gives me the warm fuzzies.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there are just too many things that come to mind. It's like always, of course, our get-togethers, and, you know, having people in the same spot and hearing laughter and jokes and making memories. Like, that's what's important for me. So like, I consider myself to be like a serial photographer. Like, I will take pictures of everything, but I think that's so important to document things and have those to kind of match with the things that happen, because again, tomorrow isn't always promised, and who knows if it's the last time you're, you know, going to be able to have something at your house or see this person for a really long time. So just cherishing and valuing the connections and time of life, I think is just, it's just important.
Yeah. So. And then one last thing. Because I'm sure you're like, you had 2 episodes, not back to back. They've been doing a lot of talking, and I'm sure you're like,
I have. Hey guys, I can talk.
I mean, no, you can, and you do. It's just, this is this episode, and then the 2 episodes previous. Yes, 2 episodes previous. Yep. Were like you-centric, so I'm sure you're like, what the fuck? Like, no. But what do you hope to experience for this next year? So from today, June 22nd, 2023 to June 21st, 2024, what do you hope to experience in this next year?
I think to just continue to work on my sense of self and growth and increase my comfortability and continue to, you know, push myself and continue to grow and learn from experiences and better myself. And just, you know, sometimes just do the thing. Stop going back and forth in your brain and just do it. Just continue to, ooh, this looks fun. Oh, but money. Oh, but this. Oh, but that. Just do it. Yeah. Just make the memories and have fun. And then just obviously continue to try to have a better work-life balance, because that is so important to your mental health, your physical health, which I know I have been neglecting because I, you know, was stressed the fuck out for God knows how long and just in survival mode and trying to function, because sometimes that is the best you can do. So just continuing to work on myself and continue to have that balance to the best of my ability, and not work myself into the grave, because I mean, yeah, shit's expensive, but we still have to live our lives. And you know, we're not just put on this earth to work 65 years and then fucking die. Like, so just continuing to have that in the back of my mind, not overwork myself, not overstress myself, to just try and, as I always say, my mom says this too, and I think that's one of the things that sticks with me. Take one day at a time. And then if one day is too big, just take one moment at a time. And just try the best that you can. So, yeah.
Well, how do you feel?
I feel great.
Do you feel some like release?
Yeah.
In this little honesty hour?
Yeah.
I love that.
Welcome to Honesty Hour with Carly and Amanda.
More like welcome to Honesty Hour with Amanda. Where Carly prods the question. Like,
I want to know.
No. Well, thank you so much for sharing.
Absolutely.
And again, I mean, by the time this episode airs, your birthday would have already passed, which, oh man, I didn't make a happy birthday post for you on the podcast Instagram. You know what? I will do that when we're done recording. I'm gonna be like late post, guys, but happy birthday. No, but I know I tell you all the time, and I hope you know how much I appreciate you. As my friend, as my roommate, as my straight friend that doesn't want to kiss me.
My God.
My cat's aunt.
The favorite cat aunt.
My cat's emergency contact. My emergency contact in some instances. No, I just hope you I hope you know this year. Well, I mean, really, like, I've had appreciation for you for over a decade at this point. But I hope that as you get older, and, you know, especially as our friendship and our bond has grown in the way that it has, I hope you know that I will always have appreciation for you and the things you do for me, the things you do for other people, because you really are one of the most, like, giving and compassionate.
Don't make me cry in here, man. I'm about to cry on the podcast.
Yeah, I've done it.
Honesty hour, we cry. It's fine.
You, you are. You're one of, like, the most giving and compassionate and kind-hearted people that I know, and I'm really glad that we are in a space now that the people in your life are not taking that for granted and taking advantage of it. That the people that you freely give to are fully appreciative of it. Because that's all I want for you. I just want the people to surround you, to take care of you like you do for everyone else. So if nothing else this year, I hope that this year for you, whether it be the people that we have in our immediate circles, or your family, or even if new people come around, I hope that the people that are in your life give you the kindness and care and compassion that you give to everyone else, because you deserve that tenfold. So, happy birthday.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
I'm trying not to cry now.
Happy birthday. And speaking of crying rivers.
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for the 23rd episode of the Between the Fridges podcast. Amanda, I know you've been talking a lot, but do you have anything else that you'd like to share with the class before I close it out?
No.
All right, cool.
Not really.
All right. You're like, I'm going to go.
My brain is kind of like, honesty hour made me emotional. So now your girl just wants to cry.
Yeah. You'll be able.
But crying's okay, people.
You can
get it out of your system. Yeah, it's healthy.
You can do that now if you want.
Healthy coping skills.
You can do that while I do the closing number. So, So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us for the 23rd episode of the Between the Fridges podcast. Follow us on Instagram if you would like to get some updates and exclusive little clippies and reels from us. And you can also find our link tree on the Instagram so that you can find everywhere to stream our podcast. Be sure to give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and give us a little like and a comment on the YouTube videos if you guys listen through there. I'm really bad at responding to the comments, but I read every single one of them when I check like the analytics and stuff. So please, please leave a comment. Please leave a review. And especially if you leave a 5-star review, we'll read your review on the podcast.
We'll give you a shout out. Liv KJ is still our only review on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
Join her. Be amongst the few.
The few, the brave, the bold, the Marines.
Yes.
The fridgelings. The
few,
the brave, the bold, the fridgelings.
The fridgelings.
Yeah.
We'll put you in the crisper drawer.
Yeah, be a fridgeling.
Be a fridgeling.
Also, we got a fan fiction submission.
Oh my God, did we? Is it someone we know that sent it in?
I mean, a listener sent it in.
Listeners.
A listener sent it in.
Oh my God, you finally sent us a fan fiction.
And I'm pretty sure it has been written just for us.
Oh God.
So
I'm kind of scared now.
So we can pull that out. We're going to pull that out in the next couple of weeks. But if any of you have a little fan fiction that you'd like us to read, whether you write it yourself or you find one on AO3 or Wattpad that you're like, I need these bitches to see this, feel free to send it to our email address at betweenthefridges@gmail.com.
Story time with Carly and Amanda. Patent pending.
Yes. Yes, we would love to do that. I'm looking forward to doing that in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And so with that, thank you guys so much for joining us this week and every week. My name is Carly.
I'm Amanda.
It is Amanda's birthday today. Well,
in case you didn't know of all the time she said it already.
And we will see you on a non-birthday week, which is next week. Oh my God. So what if I hired a mascot to come to your party this weekend?
Oh my God. Who would you hire? Can we get Grimace?
Oh my God. And he could break dance in the backyard.
Oh my God. We would move the table.
He could
get his little box and
he'd do like a little pop and lock, and then I'd be standing there going, oh my God, Grim Manuel Miranda's popping the fuck off doing his little break dance.
Oh my God.